I want to thank our sponsors who help each week put out the content for these podcasts as we invite different people from throughout the community to tell their story. So sincerely, Soul Source Restoration. Check them out, soulsourcerestoration.com. If you ever have an issue with water damage, mold, fire damage, they're there to help. It's a local Cranston company that's supporting not only this podcast, but people every day throughout the community. Check them out. Thank you for our sponsor. Welcome to another episode of the Park Podcast. We're here with a very good friend and hometown resident of Cranston. He's traveled the world. He's been on Showtime at the Apollo. He's been on America's Best Dance Crew. He's been in some Usher videos. And now he's right here at home, and he's about to be performing on the card February 10th with a Michael Jackson tribute who is from Las Vegas. And Michael actually said it's the closest thing while he was living. And gave this guy like the best Michael Jackson impersonator that he's ever seen. So, and if I'm not mistaken, that was one of your influences of dance.
Yeah, he's the main reason why I started dancing. You know, I don't know if you remember, you ever seen the movie Moonwalker?
Yeah, of course.
That's what got me, that movie right there.
How old were you?
I was 5. So, main reason why I got the music-wise was my brother.
Yeah.
You know, my brother Reg.
Sure.
What I can remember was hearing the music, but I didn't know what Michael looked like.
Yeah.
Even though there was TV back then, but I just couldn't remember. And then there was one time we went to the store, and it's when the movie came out, and you could buy it on VHS.
Yeah.
And then my brother was like, "That's who Michael Jackson is." And I was like, "Oh, snap." So I like begged my parents. I was like, "You got to get me this tape. I got to see what this guy can do." You know what I mean? So 5 years old, every day religiously, I would study his moves until my VCR just ate my tape.
Yeah.
You know, so a lot of studying with that guy.
Who were some of your other influences?
James Brown, his energy and his movements. You know, everybody knows James Brown, his feet. So I studied some of James Brown, and then in the popping and the locking world was Poppin' Pete and Poppin' Taco.
Yeah.
Who helped Michael Jackson with popping as well. So those are my four core, and Mr. Wiggles as well. Mr. Wiggles is another guy.
Yeah. I remember when we were younger. I mean, you would take over, before the shows and everything. You just kind of pop in, and then everyone would just gravitate towards the energy that you would produce of just making the movements with the music, right? And getting out of your own head. What is dance do for an artist like yourself? Like,
it just brings me to a different world, man. It just it's like everything you're going through at that moment, or whatever you're going through, if you're going through something, it all goes away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It transformed into something else, which is a performer, which, you know, it takes a lot of years of practice to get to that level, but it gets me, man.
Yeah.
What gets me is the crowd. So their energy, it makes me just want to keep going. And that's when, in high school, that's where I got the itch from, was we did a pep rally show. A friend of mine, Seren, he used to help me a lot with my style and creating my own. And all those guys, the breakdancing guys, the Shadow Rock crew guys.
Yeah.
And they all helped me really like come out to like, I was shy. I was actually very shy.
Yeah.
But it's like once I started dancing, it just went away.
There's the outlet, right?
Always.
Yeah.
So then it was like you got to perform, bro.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And then once that one time, and I heard the crowd, and I was like, I could get used to this.
Yeah.
And I just been going.
Drive off the energy of others. What was the first break? I mean, I know if I remember correctly, I graduated 02. Showtime of the Apollo was around 04. Is that fair?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So 04. So I auditioned in 03, and it got aired in 04.
Okay.
So it really was 03, but you know they aired it later on. I was just going to support our group members because we had a show. I was part of this group called Off the Curb in Newport.
Yeah, I remember that.
We had a show, and it was for the U.S. Open. And after we left there, we were going there just to, support one of our members that was auditioning. And it was just like, you might as well just audition too, because I had my own segment in our show that we had. That they gave me a 3-minute popping. Well, not popping. I did mostly popping, but they gave me a solo.
Yeah.
And it was like, you might as well just do that. I was like, all right, I guess why not? Might as well. You never know. Anything can happen. Ended up getting on the show, and then my first time there, which was very scary. That's a scary place, bro.
Oh my, it's legendary.
It's
Apollo,
legendary.
You know?
Everybody and their mother's been on that stage.
Yeah.
My influence has been on there.
And how old are you at that point?
I'm 20.
Yeah.
20 years old.
Out of your comfort zone.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, I was used to performing, but
Sure.
at that level, I was scared out of my mind, man. So, one, I was first, and then I was the only dancer on the show.
Yeah.
So that's already nerve-wracking as it is.
Sure.
So.
And you killed it. I mean, I know you're not going to say it, but I remember the energy of this entire town just behind you, just the crowd, sold-out crowd, right? I mean, and
it helped too, because like my music was really old school. It was a lot of the '80s, and a lot of the crowd grew up on that music. So it's like after I won, and I'm walking to the car, I have a few people out there like, "Yo, man, you brought it back." Bump,
right?
Yeah.
Like, I can't do it in a chair, but it was just electric,
man.
It was,
I thank my uncle for that one, my Uncle AD, because he's the Din Dada song.
Yeah.
At the end, I never knew the name of the song.
Mm-hmm.
So that he's a DJ and former b-boy. He was like, he told me the guy, he's George Kranz, Din Dada. I was like, well, it makes sense, the name. I just never knew. And that he's the one that actually told me the Ice-T song, the Reckless, where I'm doing more of the gliding.
Yeah.
It's Ice-T Reckless. He was like, you should do this. And I was like, all right.
So part of your process, how much of that is rehearsal and how much is that of just comes out live when you're feeling the music, feeling the beat?
So I mix my own stuff that I dance to. So after mixing it, I let it play for a little while, and then I'll just start freestyling myself. A lot of the stuff is freestyle.
Yeah.
But there's like key moments where I'll do certain movements to certain parts of the song. So I would say 90% of it is freestyle. The other 10% I'll have key parts of what I want to do. Yeah. Especially like the gliding areas, just so it can make sense.
Sure.
You know what I mean? For me.
So those that are not great dancers, right? What recommendations? I know you teach now.
You're great, bro.
Well, I have a little fun. I think that's the beauty.
I still remember our club days.
Yeah. I used to, But I think the beauty of dance is, like you said earlier in this conversation, is it does get you out of your own head. There's enough going on for that 1 hour, 2 hours when you're in the club, and you're just kind of just being yourself. And if you're vulnerable enough to just not care about what other people think, because you're just moving to the music.
Yeah, man. It's really all about having fun, man. You gotta have fun first.
Of course.
You know what I mean, that's the number one reason for me. Like when I'm teaching now, I tell everyone in the beginning, I said my number one goal is for you to just have fun. Yeah. I don't judge people in my class.
Sure.
Because there's different levels, you know what I mean? Everybody has different levels and things and experiences and stuff like that. So my main goal is just, one, I want you to have fun. If you learn something or learn the new move, that's just an extra bonus for me and for yourself, you know what I mean? So it's like, I always tell everybody, just come party with me. Yeah. And then we just go from there. Yeah. And just have fun with it. It doesn't matter.
We grew up in an era of ball busting, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I think that probably came from even the era before that was even worse, right? And now we're in a pretty good time where it's like, let's uplift each other. Like, we're coming out of a pandemic. We're coming out of the recession. Yeah. Life has been hard for 3 years. And it's like, how can we as a culture, as a community, as a state, as a country, as a world, kind of just get back together, get back at a table, have conversations, and create, get back to having a little bit of fun, not fighting, right?
Yeah, man.
Enjoying each other's energy, enjoying each other's time.
I think that's just what it is, man. I think a lot of people are just scared to just go out there and actually create.
Sure.
I feel like the only ones that are not afraid of creating are the creators. Sure. But they're also looking for outlets too to collaborate with people as well.
Of course.
I love collaborating with people.
Yeah.
Like even with the younger generation that's, a little younger than I am, when I'm like, say I'm gonna do an advanced choreography class, I'll collaborate with the younger ones just so I can see, like I pick their brain and they can pick my brain and then we just bring it all together. Yep. You know what I mean? Like I love doing that because I love to see how they think, how they create, and then I can help them in a way that I know. Like say you put on a certain song and you don't hear certain things, but I'm hearing certain things, and then I'll show you that. Yeah. And then that can help, progress them in their say in their choreography to be like, I didn't know, I didn't hear that.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? So I'd be like, that's how I am.
Yeah.
I hear the other, my
Sure.
mind is nuts.
Yeah.
I'm glad both of my kids are like that too, because they
Yeah.
hear things in music. And this time, my son, he'd be like, "Did you hear that, Dad?" I'm like, "No."
How was that teaching them while also being a father
Being a
and
dad.
realizing fun is the essence, right? Or the core of.
Yeah,
of-
I gotta say I'm blessed on that one, bro.
That's what's up.
I truly am blessed with that because first it started with my daughter, who's a beast at dancing, and she's an excellent student. So it made it easy for me to teach her because one, she was such a good student and listened, and as she was growing up, she can take the criticism.
Mm.
And it wasn't like so like hard criticism, not from me anyway, but she learned how to take it and apply what was being said to
Sure.
make her better.
Sure.
It's like she understood that at a very young age.
Because we don't all understand.
A lot of people
that.
don't take that.
You know, I didn't understand that early either, right? It's like
Yeah,
you
you know.
take things maybe a little bit personally, like when you're younger, and you kind of got to
Sometimes.
fake it till you make it for a little
Yeah,
bit. But
I
then
mean-
at some point in the process, I think
Yeah.
going into adulthood, you're like, teach me, coach
Yeah.
me, even now, today, right? It's like,
Yeah.
no, educate me.
Yeah, and I gotta admit, like I was fine with the criticism
Mhm.
because I understood it as, all right, you're trying to make me better. So I got that early too. So
Yep.
to see my daughter that way, and I was like, damn kid, I love it that you get it and
Yeah.
you're not like crying. You know what I mean? I'm not saying like I yelled at her or anything like that. I'd be like, no, you gotta do it this way.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And then my son, I'm blessed again. You know, it's weird, but it's a good weird.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I love it because it's like, hey, I think you should do it this way. But he's more into music than dance, so it's just like, I'll just tell him, go learn this song on the piano. Like
Yeah.
he loves the piano, you know. So I'm like, hear this section. And he'd be like, all right. Hour later, he's like, Dad, check this out. And I'm like, damn kid, how the hell did you get it so fast? You know what I mean? So
And how old are they now?
my daughter's 21, my son is 11.
Awesome.
Good
Yeah.
10-year gap.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, as a new father,
That's right.
it's just purpose, right? I mean, you'd think you have a purpose
Mm-hmm.
prior to that.
Yeah.
And then this is the purpose. I mean,
Yeah, man.
and I'm excited for those days. My child Maverick is only 3 months old, but I'm already starting to see the grabbing the finger, look him in the eyes, and
Mhm.
it turns off anything else that I
Mhm.
think is troublesome or worrying
Oh
in my
my
life.
God! Watch when he gets older and you
Yeah.
come home and you're having like a bad day.
Yeah,
Be like, Dad, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm like, oh my God, everything's gone.
yeah,
That
yeah.
one little hug, that little bit of excitement from your own kid,
Sure,
it's the best feeling in the world.
Sure.
Like I tell everybody, the best job in the world is being a dad.
yeah,
I love it.
and coaching, right? Even
And
beyond
coaching.
that.
That's
Yeah, I mean,
right.
you're at the Talent Factory in Warwick, which is
Yeah,
incredible, right? I
that's
mean,
an amazing. Well, it's called the Event Factory. It's owned by the Talent Factory people.
Thank you for the correction.
Yeah, no doubt. It's Hugo and his wife Dana. Awesome. I've known Hugo ever since I
Super
was
kind.
little.
Yeah,
When I lived in Providence, that's how long I've known him.
yeah.
So yeah, they were very, very kind and gracious for letting us use their space.
Because
Yeah.
yours,
Because our space, the building collapsed
yeah.
in the big room where the mirrors are.
That was on the
And
same day that we
Yes,
flooded
yeah.
there. And yeah, I mean,
so
I
you
was.
felt that pain.
Oh, felt that pain. I was in a 90-day depression, not
Yeah.
sure if we'd be able to get the doors back open. And I'm sure your mindset might have went similar of where are we going from here?
Yeah, I
Right.
mean that was everybody's mindset. Like, what
Yeah.
are we going to do? So that's one of the cool parts of the dance community too. Like everybody, there's so many studios out here,
Mm.
and if you have a good connection with other studio owners,
To see them
you
want
know,
to support and rally
exactly
behind that
because
situation.
because we also teach their kids as well. Like sometimes our kids will go to their studio, or their
Yeah.
kids will come to us, and it's just like it's a beautiful thing to see. I
Sure.
think that's the way it should be.
Absolutely agree. And
It
it's a
should never-
competitive world, right? But
It's very
at
competitive.
the same time, in that same regard, Hugo's reached out to us and
You see?
offered
Yeah.
support, offered education, offered how we can build our educational programs. And
Exactly.
as we get older,
Mhm.
those are the only type of people I want to be around. Right? How are we
I'm
gonna
the
spend
same
our
way. I'm the
energy
same-
and our time is with people that are collaborating
man.
and supporting each other.
That's it. I think that's what that's what it should be all about. It's just
Absolutely.
helping and supporting each other, especially us in the smaller state.
Sure. Yeah.
It's
Imagine if we all
it's-
rally behind each
Oh
other.
my God!
Yeah, maybe we wouldn't be last in some certain categories, but
Right?
I think we're starting to see a shift of that energy and
Yeah,
transitions of leadership. And
Exactly.
I think we got some bright times ahead. So
We got a lot of great people here, man.
I agree.
You is one of them, man.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
No, of course, bro.
Right back at you.
I see what you're doing.
Yeah. Well, so it's interesting, man. It's what I think as we get older, and we're at that age. I'm 38, and I've never felt time like just so much.
Yeah.
I've never like really started to go, whoa, 38. That's halfway to 76. That's halfway to.
Now you say that.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm turning 40 this year.
And how do you want to spend the rest of that time? And who do you want to spend it with, right? It becomes the great, and I've spoke on this in the past, it becomes our greatest currency. There's certainly, we all want wealth and things that we can create better opportunities for our family.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, I mean, what do we really want? We want time to spend with our family, time to spend with our loved ones, time to be able to create and dance and curate and do what you love every day. And you're doing that. You're doing that day in and day out.
And be happy doing it. I think happiness goes a long way with everything that you want to do.
Completely agree.
There's nothing worse than doing something that you don't like.
Yeah.
Especially now, as we're getting older. Like my biggest thing is I just want to be happy.
Yeah.
With the people that I love and the people that I support and that support me. Let's just be happy, man.
Sure.
It's so much easier to be happy than miserable.
Optimist, yeah. I'm completely.
To me, it is.
Find solutions. Like there's so many problems in the world, we know that. But if you can constantly look for the way to find a solution, or be an optimist, or be around like-minded people that want to find solutions with you and be optimistic, then that's the energy you're going to drive yourself around, right?
Like I always tell people, I was like, if you need any type of support, help, something, just say the word.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll be there.
And men, I've spoken on this in the past too. I think since COVID, we're a lot more vulnerable to be like, our minds are all crazy.
Oh yeah.
Right? We're all navigating through something, especially as we go into adulthood. I mean, I think I'm Peter Pan. I like Imagineering, and I want to stay youthful for as long as possible. But at the same time, I mean,
it's all in the mind.
Yeah, but it is all in the mind. It's where can we manifest next? And sometimes, where you think you want to go, I mean, and if something goes wrong, it's God sending us a message, or whatever higher power anyone believes in, that's not the right direction. And if you can pivot and navigate and keep that positive spirit through it all, then
most definitely
keeps you on track.
I mean, God is everything to me. You know what I mean? It goes God and my family, and then love and happiness. You know? So with Him leading the way, like you said, if it's not the right way to go, it's because He doesn't want you to go that way.
Sure.
So
it's tough to understand sometimes in the process, right?
And it could be very frustrating at the time.
Yep.
But as long as you understand it early and quick enough, you'd be like, all right, I get it. I get it, because it's easy to get frustrated.
Yeah.
And it's understandable. We're human. So, but together we can conquer anything.
I agree.
There's a lot of obstacles out there in the world.
Yeah.
But if you're willing to put the work in and put that time and create that balance between that time and the time with your loved ones and stuff like that, it's possible, man.
It's interesting. That was one of the entire goals of this podcast, was literally to get people back sitting down, having real conversations about how we can unite again, how we can come back together as a culture, as a community, as state, as in general, right? Like we were divided for 2.5 years for
too long.
Things that were way out of our control, right? Like it's just two sides or whatever it may be that were trying to divide us. But creators or just people in general, they drive off of energy, right? Like we couldn't hug each other.
Yeah, that was tough.
Couldn't hug each other.
I'm a huge hugger, man.
Yeah, me too, right? You want to feel the energy of someone else, and couldn't touch someone, and even in the restaurants to an extent. We're still seeing those post-pandemic effects where people are almost staying at their tables and not multi-mingling because of COVID, which is real. We're still seeing the rippling effects of that, but. Seeing you on stage, which I'm excited for next month, and
I can't wait, man.
Energy of that crowd in a town that you've lived in since you were 10 years old. I mean, people are already excited. I've been getting messages left and right.
Yeah, me too, man. It's exciting to see. I appreciate all the love from everyone, and I haven't performed in a while, man. I haven't been on stage in a couple years.
What should we expect?
Like I said at the what did I say it at? Oh no, it was the Usher thing. I'm known for unpredictable dance moves. You never know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And speaking of that,
Just be
ready to be surprised.
entertained.
Yeah.
Just be entertained.
yeah.
It's me and friends. So
How was it working with Usher?
it was just for the video. It was just for that one video
Was
shoot.
it My Boo?
My Boo, yeah.
My Boo.
I'm in the beginning section of it.
Yeah.
It was a very long day. I had my brother with me.
Yeah.
So that was cool that I had Reg with me. So he
Shout
got
out to Reg.
to my
Yeah.
brother.
Yeah. Future Hall of Famer.
Yeah. That is with
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. It was just one day. I was sad because I didn't get to meet Alicia Keys.
Yeah.
She filmed the day before we got there.
Ooh.
And I was like, I already met this guy. He's cool, but I wanted to meet her.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course.
Nah, but it was cool. And funny that day, here's a funny story about that day. So we're walking down the street in Times Square. It's like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. And a SUV's driving down by. There's a guy hanging out the window screaming Reggie's name. He's like, Reggie! And I'm like, who the hell is that? He's like, I have no idea. So then we get to the set where we got to go film. It's Ryan Leslie.
Oh wow.
He's known my brother for a few years. Him
Yeah.
and my uncle. He used to come to Newport a lot
Okay.
and work on music and stuff like that. So when we got there, he was like, "What's up, Reggie?" He was like, "Oh, snap, Ryan." He's like, "What are you doing here?" He was my brother told him what happened. He was like, "Oh, word." He was like, "Yo, that's what's up," because that was my grand prize, was to be in the video.
Yep.
And then we just chopped it up, and then he was just a really cool guy, man. Super genius.
Yeah.
Musically.
Absolutely.
And he's super smart.
Yeah.
Crazy. But we heard that he was working with, Usher at the time. So he was like, "Oh, the rumors are true." So he was like, "Yeah." So, but that day was really cool, man. It was a lot of fun. Usher was really, really cool. Super nice guy.
That's what's up.
He was like super chill. Yeah, he just hung out.
Yeah.
He was just mad chill.
And how was it working with Drastic on another television
Drastic.
show?
That was fun.
Yeah.
That was fun. Shout out to all of them, because that journey was. We were only there for one show, but that week. But even prior, leading up to the audition, just the creative process of how we all came together, just to create what we created for the audition was really cool. It was a lot of. The thought process was like, all right, what are we gonna do? You know what I mean? Picking songs, who's doing what parts, because every single one of us are choreographers, so it's just like, it was tough to pick each section of who was gonna do what.
Sure.
But then, we came together on obviously throughout the whole process, but somebody would do something, be, oh, let's add that in. So
Yeah.
it was like, it was super positive with the movements of like, if somebody liked it, we try it and be like, yeah, let's keep it in. So it was like super cool. You know
Sure.
what I mean? So it wasn't so frustrating, because it can get frustrating with having too many
Sure.
chefs in the kitchen.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
But we
Yeah.
came together, put all our heads together, and created
Create
it,
some
and
magic.
We
Yeah.
got there, you know what I mean? So that,
Yeah.
and then when we got to get on the show that week was, it was fun, man. It was fun. It was very long. The days were long, but they were so much fun. It just, they give you that insight of like, whoa, this is what dancers go through, is like if they were on tour, or if they're just going through things. And working with Nappy Tabs, Napoleon and Tabitha, who are the producers,
Yeah.
who are legends. That's where I want to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they produce the show, but they're dancers
Sure.
and they're choreographers, so they would help us in certain areas of when we had to recreate our routine.
Yeah.
They'd be in there with us, and I was like, this is like.
And those opportunities, I'm sure, led to you helping coach now, right? And what you're learning
Yeah.
from those experiences as you're teaching kids.
Yeah, so like my thing was, yeah, I was at a certain level with my dancing and teaching and stuff like that, but I've learned so much through them,
Sure.
through my peers, teaching wise, and even before that, with the other groups that I was in, Off the Curb with Jackie and Akia and Sean, who were the main choreographers. And then after that, I got into Kids Clothes with Sokio, that man's my brother. You know what I mean? Learning from him and the way he does his whole theater aspect of things. So I learned the theater way and the way so me and him kind of teach the same. So a lot of the times I'll make up the choreography on the spot
Yeah.
when I go teach. So I thank him for that because I've learned that from him. And then, you know, with the Drastics guys, it was a lot of, I became a sponge. I'm more of a student than anything.
Yeah.
And I'm forever going to be a student.
Of life.
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
nobody's a master.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't like the term master class when they're like, oh, come teach a master class. I'm like, I appreciate the
Thought process.
thought. I just
Yeah.
don't like the wording. I was
Yeah.
like, I'll teach a workshop. I'll do that instead.
Yeah.
Just change it to that.
Yeah.
Nobody's a master.
I had a previous guest on. We talked humility, you know,
Mhm.
and then you're talking master, right? Like, I approach every single day like I want to learn something
Yeah.
about life, about myself, about my family, about
Exactly.
how I can continue to evolve and
Hmm.
look at myself and hopefully keep my energy here,
Yeah.
so that I'm giving off that kindness, that light that we
Yeah.
all need in some dark times. you
Yeah,
know?
I mean, yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, it's tough out there, especially for the kids, man, because
Absolutely.
they see everything and
A couple of years.
they have
of-
access to everything. You know, what I mean, it's scary. You know, you can only control what you can control.
we didn't have cell phones.
We had nothing.
Yeah,
we
were
barely
actually
had
going out
internet.
playing manhunt. Yeah,
Oh, kick the can was my
Yeah.
joint.
yeah. Before I started the house, so
You know, so you don't see kids riding their bikes and jumping over fences and stuff like that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's the stuff I
they're
miss.
creating NFTs. You know, which is
You
around
see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's the future.
So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, we got to be careful, but also mindful. And there's a lot of sensitivity out there,
Sure.
you know, but anything is possible.
Yeah.
It's always possible. So it's not like, and we can't be afraid to tackle certain things in certain areas where, I don't want to say you don't hurt anybody's feelings, but sometimes you gotta get a little tough
Sure.
to help, especially your kids, to grow up tough.
Yeah.
You don't want them to grow up scared. You know?
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know, so that's what I like to teach my kids. I was like, yo, I'm always here for this, and that. And I will always teach you whatever I can, but you also got to be willing to learn.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Because nobody's the best at anything.
And at some point they have to leave the nest, right? So.
Yeah, that's the sad part. That's the scary part.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you're forever gonna worry, no matter what.
Yeah.
Like my daughter, she just, she leaves whenever she wants, and we tell her. Me and my wife tell her, we're like, hey, just because you left,
Mm.
I mean, she's still with us, but it's like just because you go out, I'm like, I'm still worrying about you, man.
Yeah. Of course.
You know what I mean? So it's like it's still there. It's never gonna leave.
Yeah.
I know my mom feels the same way.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, man.
Yeah. Well, this was good, man. I'm looking forward to not only this show, but seeing what we can continue to
Yeah.
curate, what kind of excitement we can continue to
No,
create
yeah,
throughout the community, how we can continue to
most
bring
definitely.
creators together. And like you said earlier in this conversation, I mean, we're a small state, but if we can keep
This-
coming together,
Oh my God, we can blow up this state
Yeah.
like worldwide because there's so many talented people here.
I agree.
It's insane the talent that this state has.
Yeah.
I just want to show them.
Yeah.
I just want them to have a platform where they could just go nuts.
Yeah.
Do whatever the hell you want to do.
Here we are.
You know, this is a good place. Man.
Yeah. Yeah.
You already know.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, that's why I was like, my thing is Kelvin Fabian and Friends.
Yeah.
I want to show my friends.
Yeah. Any family? Has that thought process came to mind? Or? I'm not gonna.
I might bring the
Yeah.
my kids with me. They might have to. Yeah, you're gonna have to come on stage with me. Real quick.
Yeah. I like it.
I know my daughter's down. She's forever down. My son, I think he'll be down.
All right.
Yeah, he's. Don't bring that kid to a party. He won't get off the dance floor.
Takes over.
He takes over.
I know
man.
someone that reminds me of that.
Yeah, that's my son.
Yeah.
It's still that way, which is great, and I love it.
Heck yeah.
So yeah, man.
Cool, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on today.
No, I appreciate you, bro.
Looking forward to the show. So
Me too.
yeah, that's what's up.
Can't
Make
wait.
sure you buy tickets. February 10th, my man Kelvin Fabian is going to be opening up the show to rock for the ultimate Michael Jackson experience. Thanks for
Yeah.
checking out the Park Podcast, and let's just keep
Let's
it
go
going,
nuts.
man.
Let's go nuts.
Yeah, let's have some fun.
That's it.
Yeah, that's what's up. Thanks, man.
Thank you, brother.